Mate, you've just got Monty here.
You remind me so much of when I was your age.
Hearing about your story and how you started so young really kicked me into gear and made me want to start working just straight from the get-go. The first real side hustle was probably when I was about 15. Like, we'd go out on the weekend, spend most of the afternoon knocking on doors in Bellevue Hill and different suburbs around Sydney.
We're doing a challenge. We're getting you your first property. So let's say you get paid today,
Yep.
and then you don't get paid again until 2 Thursdays' time.
Yeah,
How much are you going to spend, roughly?
$100 at the max. Like $100.
Monty,
Jack,
ladies, liquor, or leverage? Which one of the three is your favourite?
leverage.
My man. Monty, 18 years old. You just turned it on Saturday.
Yep.
How's it feel?
Hey, it's pretty good. I haven't quite processed it, mate, but we had a good day out, didn't we? So
I don't know. I don't remember a lot of it, but I think it was good. Now, Mons, for people who follow me online, they'll already know the origin story, but we'll give a little bit of context.
yeah,
You went to, just a nice public school, Scots College, not very expensive there in the eastern suburbs of Sydney.
quite lower class. That's right. Yeah.
Lower class school. I did a talk there about entrepreneurship. I rolled in wearing just like clothes I am right now.
Yep.
No one listened to me. They were all just giggling and fucking around. And then after I did the talk, you come up to me and said, "Oh, Jack, I've got a podcast. I've also interviewed David Shane."
Yep. Yeah.
And you said, I work in real estate at the moment, and I'd love to come in and do some work. Because what was the thing you were doing? It was like a work experience thing.
Yeah. Work experience.
So on a Friday or something, you could go and do work experience. And I said,
Yeah.
sure, man, come into my office on Monday or whenever it was. And I said, let's go. So we got all the documents signed. In you come, 17-year-old Mons, jumps straight on the phone.
That's it.
Bloody natural from day dot. And then we find out that Monty's got a bloody, what were you doing? Pressure washing business with your mates, and you're just a little hustler. And that's why you fit in so well at Henderson. So today we're going to talk about why you and the way that you think and the way that you act is so different from the majority of 16, 17-year-olds, especially the fucking whinging ones on my social media about why the world's so hard and blah, 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 blah. And then we're also going to talk about how you're going to pick up the slack of the challenge that I did not do that I said I was going to do, which was how we're going to save for a deposit within 12 months on whatever your income is, 60 or 70 or 80 grand.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Sound
good. Like a plan?
Let's get into it.
So, Mons, give us a 30-second story about your upbringing, because you are 18 now. You were 17 up until this time last week.
Mm-hmm.
You went to one of the best schools in Australia. You were surrounded by some of the wealthiest families in Australia.
Yeah.
But you didn't go to university. You haven't got, a silver spoon.
Yep.
And you're in the workforce, and you were working during school. Like, where did that all stem from?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of grew up just like anyone else did. Like, you got to go to uni and get a job, and very traditional pathways.
Very
right?
traditional, like in the tough streets of Vaucluse.
No, but it's always, especially, I feel like when you go to those more expensive like private schools, everyone expects you to go to university and do that pathway. You've paid all this money. Why are you just going to then go straight into work? Like, as opposed to studying at University of Sydney or, UNSW, all these prestigious
How many, like, just for
universities.
context for people listening, out of how many kids were in your year roughly?
Oh, over 200.
And how many of those you reckon would have went to uni versus not went to uni?
I think 80% of them
Would have
have
went to
gone
uni.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're part of the 20%. Yep. So you didn't go to uni. You grew up in the East. Like, what was your your upbringing like? Like this, because this will be valuable for people who either have young kids or are going to have kids. Because I've got lots of friends. Frank, who's on my advisory board, he's got 2 young kids.
Yeah.
Super fucking wealthy guy.
Yeah.
And one of his biggest fears is that he'll bring his kids up to be spoilt little brats that don't want to work and don't have the work, the work ethic and all the rest of it because they grew up rich. Where you grew up in, a nice suburb and good family and good friends, and you've obviously grown up to have a really strong work ethic.
Yeah. So
and love leverage.
Love leverage. Definitely grew up very lucky. My parents worked very hard to send me to the school I went to, and they made that clear. You're being sent to this school, you need to make the most out of it because we're busting our ass to send you there. And, they both work all the time. My mum's a business owner. Dad's works in finance. They're both very hard workers. And
met your dad on Saturday.
That's right. Yeah, you did meet him. So it was always made clear to me that I had to take that opportunity not for granted and really make the most out of everything, which I'd like to think that I did.
Yeah, but do your parents or did your parents think that making the most out of it was going to university, like getting the most out of a great education and then going to uni with that education? Or did they, expect you to make the most out of it, which is just try your best and
yeah, like a bit of both. My parents have always been pretty supportive of what I wanted to do, and they sort of knew from about a few years ago that I wasn't going to go down the academic pathway. I wasn't really that interested in studying, and although I did well naturally, I didn't really have all that much interest in my classes. So university was something that it was just like, he'll figure it out when he's older. Chances are he'll go.
Yeah.
Obviously, things changed when Jack Henderson walks into your school and does a lecture with everyone, and you see, who's this guy? He must know something that I don't. I want to get closer.
What made you think I knew something that you didn't? Was it the shirt I was wearing?
I think it was the shirt. I couldn't quite tell if you had just taken the mick or you actually knew something
that's
else.
how I dressed every day?
Yeah.
You probably discovered since working here, that's how I dress every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great. I admire it.
So when did you start your first little side hustle business? Because again, most 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, however old I was when you started it, are not out there, working when they're at school and making pocket money. They're either, living off their parents or playing fucking Xbox games, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
you decided not to do that and go door knocking in the eastern suburbs of Sydney to try and get work for bloody your pressure cleaning.
Yeah, obviously there was a bit of that. I'm not going to say that I was head down, doing stuff all the time. Obviously played Xbox and done things that other kids would have done, But first real side hustle was probably when I was about 15. I wanted to do a supplement business. I was quite into the gym at the time and training. So
I can tell, big boy.
So I figured why not, try sell a bit of supplements online, started a bit of a brand. Some of the people which I speak to today, my number actually comes up as PR Supplements and they go, who's PR Supplements? I'm like, got no idea.
Oh, when you call people.
Yeah, when I call people, I don't know how the phone knows that I used to do it. And
that's a classic. How'd that go?
Oh, I made 2 sales. One was dad, one was my neighbor, and then sort of figured out.
And what were the supplements?
Oh, protein and creatine.
Where'd you get it made?
No, I just had a white label thing, and then made a website and everything, which was cool.
Right. So you used to buy wholesale shit and then put your logo on it.
Yeah, I didn't buy it, so it was they pay for it and then it gets taken from a supplier and straight to the consumer.
Oh, right. So it's like a drop shipping style
yeah,
of model.
Exactly. Right. That was pretty popular going around on social media, so I figured I'll give it a try.
Right.
That was the first thing, really.
How'd you go? No good.
No good. No, I didn't make any.
But
sales.
you had the initiative to do it, and then from the supplement company, what was the next thing? Was that
the next thing? Well, probably just the pressure washing. Really, the podcast came first.
Yeah.
Started interviewing some people, and then really
Where did that come from? There, what made you go, "Hey, I'm 17 years old. Let's start a podcast." Or 16 years old.
Interestingly, the podcast was a school project, so you could make it about whatever you wanted. They would set you up with a couple microphones they had there and you could film it. Right. So we emailed a bunch of people, whoever we could think of, me and my mate, were like, let's make it about Aussie politics and Aussie culture.
Yeah.
Emailed Bob Catter, range of other politicians. Bob actually responded a few months later. And after about 6 months of communicating with him, we teed up a time to have an interview. So we did interview Bob Catter, which was unreal.
I'll punch blokes in the mouth.
That's right. Unreal.
And then you also had David Shane, who was the first ever guy in Australia to sell a company for $1 billion.
That's right. Yeah. So super interesting chat there. Once we had Bob, it was a bit of credibility, so we could go on.
Hey, we've had big guests like Bob Catter on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly right. So we got Shane in, David Shane, and
so good.
He was really good.
Who else? Anyone else?
As well. No, we only did 2. We had a couple other ones.
Big guests.
Then, yeah, exactly right. And then started working for you, sort of put that on hold. And
you were doing the pressure washing, which was you used to go around and door knock, right?
Yeah, so
And what was your pitch? I'm a young 17-year-old, I'm trying to get pocket money.
Yeah, no, not quite like
Pull
that.
on the heartstrings of the consumer.
Oh, a little bit. Like, I'm trying to be a young entrepreneur. Like, I'm trying to be a business owner. Help me out. Yeah.
And you were getting work, right?
Yeah. We got tons of work. Like, we'd go out on the weekend. Spend most of the afternoon knocking on doors in Bellevue Hill and different suburbs around Sydney. And a lot of people were just happy to see young kids get
Bloody
after
oath
it.
they
So
are.
they were happy to help us out. And
Mate, that's so good.
it was good.
And then from there, you were doing this work experience with like McGrath. And what you were just essentially going in on a day and learning how to talk on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And do prospecting.
That's where it started. They got me on the phone a couple of times. Was really nervous back then, like still figuring everything out. Obviously, most of it's just like, fake it till you make it.
It's confidence, bro.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then I come along and you come in here. And for context, like we have a lot of people come here and trial sales. They want to get into sales. They see me online and they go, let's go work for Jack.
Yeah.
Most people come in one day and they go on the next because they're not cut out for it.
Yeah.
You come in with not a great deal of sale experience, just a couple of, work experience days with McGrath, got on the phone and it sounded like you'd been fucking selling for years and years. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this guy is unreal. And the whole team got around it.
Oh, yeah.
So like, what's your opening line? Go, ring, ring. Ring.
G'day, Jack. How you going?
Yeah. G'day, who's this?
Mate, you've just got Monty here. Local neighbourhood Monty.
You've just got... When we heard you've just got Monty here in the office, everyone lost it.
Yeah.
It's just like the greatest. One, because your name is so fucking unique. And the second thing is just like, I've never heard someone say, yeah, you've just got Jack here. It's like the greatest opener and you disarm people. And mate, now you're crushing it. So we're doing a challenge.
Okay.
We're getting we're getting you your first property.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. So prior to working here, did you have like any interest in property or real estate or anything like that? Like
not really. Like I saw real estate agents. Obviously, they sell $1 million houses around the area. And,
million?
Yeah.
Mate, if you find me $1 million house around the area, I'll buy 10
around
of them.
this area, eastern suburbs, it's every house.
Many millions. That's,
yeah. Oh,
you're not buying much for $1 million.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
So you had no interest in like property investing or anything like that?
Oh, not investing. I figured may as well start by selling houses, hence why I was at McGrath. That seemed like a good paying career at the time. Start there and then didn't even know really a buyer's agent was even a thing.
Right.
Let alone like people investing in it. I didn't really know anything about that. So
But since you started working here, it's like you come and ask me questions. You're like, oh, Jack, what does this mean? Or like you'll say things on the phone where I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
And it's literally just from you consuming my own content.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. Like when I started here, I just started binge watching all of your stuff and like really got a gist for it all. Learned like what even is a mortgage. Had no idea when I started. And yet I was talking to people about theirs.
It's mate, it's very, very impressive. Have you always been someone who's had like tenacity and like been a go-getter with like, oh, I want something, so then I'll find out a way to go and get it? Like throughout your upbringing, like if you wanted a certain thing, I don't know, a phone or bloody a toy or whatever it was, would you try and find out a way to go and get that thing, or would you just wait for it to be bought for you? And
yeah, I mean, look, like that's sort of one of the lessons that my parents gave to me. Like you got to work hard for whatever it is that you want to get.
yeah,
So, like whether it be getting into a sports team at school or whatever it was, like, I trained for it, tried to make it happen. I mean, I guess that's sort of a bit about it, but it really just started when I started doing all those like podcasts and things. It just sort of learnt like, if you really get after it and try hard to achieve it, it'll come.
yeah. And you really don't have to try all that hard, right? Like I think one of the things that I said after I went to the school is like there was, I don't know how many hundreds of kids, or is it the 200 in a year? There was a lot of kids that, we spoke to, and out of all of those kids, you were the only one that didn't even do anything that was out of the ordinary. It was just like you come up to me at the end and started a conversation when no one else did, right?
Yeah.
And from that, could lead to some incredible things down the track. And
exactly.
You generally find that in life. It's like 99% of people just do the bare minimum or below bare minimum. And even if you do 1% above the bare minimum, you stand out so dramatically, right? Because everyone else is, relatively average. So, I think it's really, really cool. So your friends in school or people around you or people that you know, because, with your school, you obviously socialize with other schools in the area.
Yeah.
What are they all doing now, or what are they planning to do versus, what you're doing?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone's just finished the HSC, so it's a big time. People are finally getting off the books.
Is the HSC actually done now?
Yeah, like as of today. It's done.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's a big deal.
Very free, very massive deal.
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit out of the loop because I've been here, but no, it's massive.
You just
deal.
keep every time someone calls you, you're like, you've just got Monty here, and they're like, mate, we know who you are.
Exactly.
So they've done the HSC and now they're going to go enjoy, the rest of the year. And
yeah, right. Like, schoolies and people are doing what they want with free time for the first time in their lives.
Yeah.
Go and enjoy themselves, hang out, and then next year kids will either go to uni or spend a bit of time off. Yeah, or get a job. A lot of trades.
Why didn't you not have the rest of the year off and like go and enjoy your 17 or your 18-year-old fresh schooly self for the last 3 months of the year? You could have had a 3-month-long schoolies, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that?
Well, to be honest, it was actually kind of like hearing about your story and how you started so young really kicked me into gear and made me want to start working just straight from the get-go.
So you're like, fuck schoolies. You're still going to schoolies?
No, I'm still going to schoolies, yeah.
So that's the only reason, huh?
Yeah,
it's like, I won't have the time off. I'll just start working straight away.
Right? Like, I don't know what else I'd be doing if I wasn't working. I'd just be sitting at home wasting my time away or, at the beach. But I've always wanted to do something with my time, feel productive. So hence why I'm working.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the first property thing, because you said you didn't really have an interest in real estate. You didn't really know much about property. You thought maybe being a real estate agent is okay, and that's how you learn about property. And now it's like you're bloody obsessed with property and investing and all these different terminologies and I guess the life that maybe property can bring for you. It sounds like you've committed now to buying your first property. While you're still 18, or I've influenced you into doing it. One of the two. We'll pretend it was your decision.
Yeah.
What's the plan? How are we gonna save the deposit? Because like you remind me so much of when I was your age. Like, I was living at home. You're living at home. Most 17-year-olds fucking live at home. The vast majority of them. Little to no expenses. You come to the office. You got bloody breakfast, lunch here. You go home. You got dinner for you.
Sorted.
You don't have a car. Oh, you do have a car actually. You have a car.
Broken down, but I have a car.
You live close to work, so you don't really have like any travel expenses.
No.
Really the only spending that you have is discretionary spending, which you choose, right? It's like if you want to go spend money on shit, you do.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend money, you don't.
Exactly.
Which I believe is most 17-year-olds, right? Or most 18-year-olds or most 19-year-olds. If they're living at home, the only money they spend is money they choose to spend.
Exactly.
Right. And like the reality is you're in a job where you could get paid that in most entry-level careers, right? It's not like you're fucking earning extreme money.
Yeah.
So what's the plan to save for the first deposit? Now we know 5% deposit, that's all you need. Yep. You're going to use the first home buyer scheme.
Yep.
And when's your 19th birthday is in November the 1st.
Year, yeah.
Right. Won't be as big as your 18th, I can assure you. So what's the plan? How are we gonna save? How are you gonna save your deposit, and how are you still gonna enjoy your life so you don't feel like you're just a hermit? Give us the rundown.
Saving is going to be key, right? The more I can save, the quicker I can get there, because I can't change my income. My income's fixed for the time being.
You're in a sales role.
Oh yeah, of course. As I get older, it'll be increasing in sales as well.
That's right.
So working harder obviously means I get paid more.
Two things we'll touch on there, but keep going.
Exactly. So the main things are just saving and actually putting a plan. Right. So I sort of in the process of setting benchmarks of when I'd like to be able to hit certain savings markers.
Yeah.
And then we will hopefully have a bit of a proposal date and time of when we'd like to get there.
I reckon we'll be able to get there by July of next year.
I think so.
So let's actually break down the real numbers for people. So how much do you get like a fortnight in your bank, roughly?
1,800.
1,800 a fortnight. How much of that would you then spend over the next 2 weeks? So let's say you get paid today and then you don't get paid again until 2 Thursdays' time.
Yeah.
How much are you going to spend, roughly?
$100 at the max. Like $100.
That is fucking crazy. What do you reckon, Joel? Just 100 things. That is so good. But like it's crazy because I remember when I was like you, like if you don't have to spend money on travel, you don't have a car. I mean, what else do you do?
My car is like my most expensive liability. Petrol is the biggest killer. If you look at my bank account statements, most of it is petrol.
And you don't spend money on like shit? Like, what about like now you're 18, what about going out like clubbing and stuff like that?
There'll be a bit of that. Like at schoolies, I'll probably spend a bit and, you know, maybe on a couple of nights out. But as a person, I don't really go out that much.
Yeah.
Like,
but let's say you're going to spend more than $100 a fortnight. Let's say that we go extreme and you spend of the 1,800, you spend 500 a fortnight, which is $250 a week.
Yep.
All right. That would allow you to put $50 worth of fuel in your car and spend $200 on vodka Red Bulls at a club. All right. Which will get you roughly 10 of those every 2 weeks as well. That's a good life. Which means you would be left with $1,300 a fortnight, which is $650 a week in your bank account. All right. Now, if we start, when did you start? How much you got in savings now?
Started back in May with like $0 in my account, but a car.
Fuck yeah.
Put it all towards the car.
All right, so we started in May. You didn't start working here in May, did you?
Yeah, I did once a week though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's
okay.
May or June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
When did you start working here and then I started paying you? Because the first few times I didn't pay you. I think I give you $100 one night.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Monty was going on a date and I said, "Yeah, Monty, here's 100, mate."
That was good.
So when was it? Let's say that you started 1 July.
Yeah.
Okay, so since 1 July, how much money have you saved?
In my account, I've got 13 grand.
Have you really?
Yeah. I told you I don't spend anything. I've got 13.
Is that just from saving or have you sold shit?
No, that's like just from saving. Like,
Is it?
Literally, I haven't sold anything.
So you're telling me from July, you must have got some comms, huh?
Yeah, bit of comms.
13 grand. And where are we in now? We're in November. Okay, so it's taken you 1, 2, 3, 4 months to save 13 grand. And if we're saying you're going to save 1,300 a fortnight, by the 20th, you'll have almost 15. So by the end of the year, you'll have 20 grand. All right?
Yeah.
By the end of the year, by December, you're going to spend a few dollars at schoolies, you'll be clubbing, you'll be popping bottles, you'll be the richest one there. So you'll be out there just flexing.
Yeah, no. See, that's what I got to refrain from. Everyone's like, "Oh, you have a job now, you've got money to spend
that's right.
for drinks."
You can flex.
No.
No, but flexing's good, bro.
Yeah.
You'll
schoolies.
The schoolies flex.
That's
Do they have drink specials and that at schoolies or no?
I've heard they're very expensive.
Are they?
Very.
Yeah, just drink at home.
Supply and demand. So it's like, no, well, they know every 18-year-old is going to be there. So.
Yeah, very true. They'll increase the prices.
Yeah.
So if we can say, let's say by the end of the year you got 20 grand, and let's say that you're saving your 1,300. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 9 pays by the end of April, which will give us another 9 times 1,300, 11,700 plus 20 grand. You'll have 31 grand if my calcs are correct, and that's without saying you might get little bonuses between now and then by the end of April, and then you'll have your 5% deposit again.
By the end of April.
What do you reckon?
That's
a good goal.
Yeah.
And then the thing that you'll have to solve is the serviceability issue, right? Just like, well, then I have to be able to borrow the money.
Yep.
You'll have to come beg, borrow, and steal off me and say, "Jack, come on, I've been such a great worker for the past 8 months. Give me a pay rise." So I reckon by the end of April, you'll have your 5% deposit from and you started, let's assuming you started work in the 1st of July. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months.
Yeah.
Mate, pretty impressive, but pretty simple at the same time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, really. Just get a job.
Just get a job. Stay living at home, ideally.
Yeah.
And then spend as little as you possibly can.
Yep.
And then make sure that you're in a job where you can control your own income as well. That's, I guess, the good thing about your role is the better you get in your sales role, the more money you make.
100%.
Forever, right?
100%.
Which is obviously really cool. Now, if we say by April you have your first property, you deposit for your first property, let's say by the end of May or the start of June you've purchased your first property.
Yep.
Then the reality is, which is very similar to what I did, you still have to save, but you no longer have to worry about, I've got to save this big amount of money for this big thing, because once you've got your first property, you just let that thing grow in the market. As long as you pay the mortgage every week, you can go and spend your money on whatever you want.
100%.
And that property will continue to grow.
100%.
So that's it. Are you going to say something then?
Yeah, there's a good. Me and my dad actually spoke about this the other day because I was like, "Oh, Dad, like, you know, I'm saving for this property, but at the same time, I've been checking out motorbikes. I really want to buy a motorbike." And Dad said there's a good lesson that I learned from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm not sure.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah,
no, that's one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, really good lesson is like put the money you make towards investing, and the money you make from investing, you use that as your spending money.
Very true. Very true. Which is, you know, what any good investor understands. And it's not necessarily just using the cash flow from the investment to buy the motorbike, but you go buy your $600,000 property or $700,000 property. That'll be the next thing people ask. Oh, where do you buy a property for $600,000 or $700,000? Lots of places. Yeah. As that property grows in the market, it grows by 10%. It grows from $600,000 to $660,000. You've essentially turned your $30,000 deposit then into $60,000 worth of equity, right? Yeah. Which is, you know, 2 or 3x your initial investment, which would take you another 12 or 24 months to save that amount. Yeah. But it probably took 6 or 12 months, but you know, from the property to grow that amount. And that's really the hack. Start young. Have your pennies look after the pounds. Live at home, ideally, if you can. Live close to work, ideally, if you can. Yep. Ideally, get employed by someone who's got a chef at work so you don't have to spend any money on food. Exactly. And fucking ladies, liquor and leverage. What do you reckon,
That's the key. That's the key.
So if there's obviously a lot of older people who listen to this, probably parents of kids, and they think, oh, my kids are never going to have the ability to buy a property. Like that's probably one of the biggest things you see online, right? It's like, oh, how are my kids ever going to be able to buy a property? Yeah. What's your words of wisdom? What's your 18-year-old words of wisdom to those people?
Yeah, honestly, just learning about it all. I think it's actually opened my eyes to how much easier it is to attain than I thought it was.
Right. So education, you think if people were educated.
100%. Learn about the different types of loans, you know, what you need to actually be able to get a property and where as well. Everyone's like, where are you going to be able to afford a property? You got to buy a place in Bondi? I was like, no, I'm not going to buy a place in Sydney or the eastern suburbs because it's not feasible.
That's right. But it will be one day.
Exactly. Hopefully.
Yeah. Not now. Right. So I think if people understood or understand, that the property you buy to begin with, where you start is unlikely where you're going to end. Yeah. Yeah. You got to start somewhere, right? Like, you know, if, you know, buy at least some place you can afford instead of not buying at all. Exactly. Because the market's going to continue to move and you're not going to be able to save as fast as the market moves. So if you've got your, you know, ideation around I need to buy in this location or I want to buy, you know, where my parents grew up or where I grew up, that's when you'll never be able to buy a property because you've got unrealistic expectations. Yeah. Where are you going to buy for 600 or 700 months? That's where you come in. That's right. We'll get you a one better in Bankstown, high density apartment block, you beauty. Perfect. That's right. Actually, we might even go Mascot. We'll get you a nice view of the fucking airport. What do you reckon? Yeah. Even better, more affordable. Definitely don't buy one of those. Mons, what else you got for the listeners? Mate, 17, 18 years old now. First job, earning good money, saving hard, unlike most 17-year-olds. What do you got? I think you just got to open your eyes to what's possible. Now, Mons, after you get your first property, you've ticked off one of the biggest financial goals that any person will tick off. What's the long-term vision for your career and your life? Are you thinking long-term yet, or are you a little bit still thinking about schoolies? Oh, the schoolies is the immediate thing. I mean, that's only a couple of weeks. I'm pretty keen for that. We booked that ages ago, but I'm excited for you. Thank you. I've just got hyper focus right now. I'm just focusing over the next few months. It's a big couple months for me. Oh, it's huge. Just turned 18 and got all this happening. You finished your 13 years of school. You got schoolies coming up. You got a new job. You're saving for a property. Yeah, it's all happening. Learning a lot about life. Exactly. All right. Being around older people, you learn what goes on. So that is a very, very important thing, Yeah. I know from when I was younger, when you go into construction, you're not around other 18-year-olds, right? You're around like 30, 40, 50-year-olds. Yeah. And you generally, you are very mature for your age, but you generally mature much faster because you're treated just like one of those people, right? You're not treated as if you were 17, 18. Exactly. That's the biggest difference. I mean, like, hanging out, if I hung out with my friends every day, all day, I would be doing the same stuff. Yeah. Going to the beach, playing games, whatever. It's the fact that I'm hanging out with other people that are focused about making money and they work very hard. It's encouraged me to do the same, like the runs as well. That's right. Monty's going to run his first 20Ks tomorrow morning. Yeah. Excited? Yeah, I'm excited. A little bit nervous, but it'll be okay.
We did 16 last week, so 20 will be okay.
Mate, that's right. Even little things like that, like I suppose it's just proof that you end up becoming similar to the people you're around, because
100%.
we're all running and doing things like that. I'm not saying it's, the be all and end all, but when you do things like that or you're around people that do things like that, you just naturally go, oh yeah, I suppose I can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you end up becoming the people that you're around. You adapt to their routines and what they get up to. It's the same like, when I spend time with friends, I notice stop doing what they start doing, but get in the right crowd. That's really the best thing you can do when you're young.
It's very true. The future, what are you thinking about? Where do you see your career? Have you thought about long-term career?
Deep question. No, not really.
It's a deep question. Well, tell us, Monty. You've just got Monty here.
Just got Monty here. Monty is going to continue doing sales for the time being.
That's right.
That's where I find a lot of my passion. And then sort of see where things take me from there. I've always wanted to be a business owner, so maybe that'll happen in the future.
Yeah, there you
Always
go.
wanted to do that.
Maybe you could start a competing firm to Henderson. It could be called Monty's Advocacy.
Yeah, there you go, right? That's a good name.
You could set up across the road. What do you reckon?
Yeah, on one of the offices across the street.
Mate, very, very good. Very inspirational. I think there's a lot to take away from it. Even though we were having a joke in that, the reality is being a 17-year-old, getting into the workforce, getting focused, doing a lot of very, very simple stuff.
Yeah.
I think, it's going to be interesting to hopefully you're here for a lot of years and we can see you grow as a person and see your wealth grow. But you do some very basic things early before you get all the life baggage, partners and kids and all that jazz, because that makes life way more expensive.
Yeah.
You get a really, really good, solid financial future. And then, mate, off the back of it, it gives you more confidence in life because you're financially secure.
Yeah.
And you start to learn the game and, mate, I reckon we'll see you at 29 a lot richer than what I am.
Thanks for coming.
Fingers crossed. You've just got Monty here. Thanks, legend. Go hard at schoolies, huh?
Thank you.
This is general advice and does not take into consideration your objectives, situation, or needs. You should consider if this advice is suitable to you or your circumstances, and please read any applicable PDFs beforehand. This is a Henderson podcast production.